There is a gray, chalky, sun-destroyed plastic bumper sitting on a car right now. It looks embarrassing. It looks old. It looks like the owner gave up. And somewhere in a garage, someone just dipped a rag into a liquid that cost less than $1, wiped it across that dead gray surface, and watched it transform into a deep, rich, factory black finish in less than 30 seconds. Not a little better, not slightly darker. Completely, perfectly, impossibly black, like the car just rolled off the assembly line this morning. That liquid is not from a detailing shop. It is not some miracle compound that costs $40 a bottle. It is not a secret formula that only professional detailers know about. You can buy everything you need right now for under $1 at any drugstore or grocery store in America. And the reason you have never been told about this, the reason this has been buried under mountains of marketing, fake reviews, and glossy packaging, is because the moment you know this secret, you will never spend another dime on trim restorer sprays again. And that absolutely terrifies a $5 billion industry. Welcome to the buried blueprint. If you believe that corporations have been hiding cheap, permanent solutions from everyday Americans to protect their profits, then hit subscribe and ring that bell right now. Every single video on this channel is dedicated to pulling back the curtain and giving you back the power they stole. This channel exists for one purpose, and one purpose only: to put the knowledge back in your hands. So subscribe, right now, before we go any further. Now, let us talk about what is actually happening to that plastic on your car. Here is the first thing you need to understand, and this changes everything. The gray, chalky, faded plastic on your car bumper, your side mirrors, your cowl vents, your door trim, your wheel arch cladding, it is not just dirty. It has not simply lost its color. What is happening at a molecular level is a process called photo-oxidation. Ultraviolet light from the sun is literally attacking the carbon-hydrogen bonds in the polymer chains that make up your plastic. Over months and years, those bonds break down. The surface of the plastic essentially begins to die. It forms a microscopic crust of oxidized white, chalky residue right on the surface. That crust is what you see as gray. That is what makes your car look old, neglected, and worn out. The color did not go anywhere. The deep, rich black pigment is still there, locked just beneath that thin layer of dead white oxidation. You do not need to add anything new. You simply need to remove what is in the way and then feed the plastic what it lost. And here is exactly how you do it. Step 1. You are going to go to any drugstore, any pharmacy, any grocery store in America. You are going to buy a bottle of 70% isopropyl alcohol, the kind that is used for cleaning cuts and wounds. The most basic, ordinary, ubiquitous product on the planet. It will cost you about $1, sometimes less. Grab a few rags or microfiber cloths while you are at it. Step 2. You are going to buy pure mineral oil. You can also use baby oil, which is simply mineral oil with a small amount of fragrance added. Find it in the baby care aisle or the skin care aisle. A large bottle will cost you between $1 and $2. One bottle will last you years. That is your entire shopping list, 2 items. Under $3 combined, this is the complete formula. Now here is the application process, and I need you to follow these steps exactly, because the order matters enormously. Before you do anything else, you need to clean the plastic, not just wipe it. You need to strip it. Take your rag and pour a generous amount of the 70% isopropyl alcohol directly onto the cloth. Now scrub that gray plastic firmly. Use real pressure. Work in small sections. You are not gently wiping, you are actively scrubbing. You are dissolving and lifting that layer of dead oxidized chalk off the surface. As you scrub, watch your rag. It will turn brown, sometimes dark brown. That brown residue is the oxidized crust coming off the plastic. That is years of UV damage being physically removed from the surface of your bumper. Keep scrubbing until the rag stops picking up that brown residue and starts coming away clean. Then move to the next section. Once the entire plastic surface has been scrubbed with the alcohol, let it flash dry. This takes about 10 to 15 seconds. The alcohol evaporates incredibly fast. You want the surface to be completely dry before you move to the next step. Now look at the plastic. You may notice it already looks slightly better, darker. The gray haze is partially gone because you removed the chalk layer, but it still looks dry and porous. That is because it is. You just opened it up, you stripped away the dead surface, and now the polymer chains beneath are exposed and thirsty. This is exactly where you need to be. Take a clean microfiber cloth. Apply a few drops of mineral oil to the cloth, not a flood of oil, a few drops. You are going to work this into the plastic with firm circular motions. Press down. Massage it in. You want the mineral oil to penetrate into those open pores, not just sit on the surface. Work section by section, the same way you did with the alcohol. As the oil goes in, you will watch the color transform in real time. The gray disappears, the black comes back. Deep, rich, glossy black. This is not a coating sitting on top of the plastic. This is the plastic itself being rehydrated from the inside. And this is where the science becomes remarkable. Your car's plastic is a petroleum-based polymer. It was literally made from oil. The molecular structure of mineral oil, which is also a petroleum distillate, is incredibly similar to the oils that were originally present in the plastic when it was new. When UV light degrades your plastic, one of the things it destroys is the plasticizers, the oils that were built into the polymer to keep it flexible, supple, and deeply colored. Mineral oil does not just coat the surface. Because of its chemical compatibility with the polymer chains, it is actually absorbed into the microscopic structure of the plastic. It slips between the polymer chains, displacing the oxygen that has been oxidizing the surface, and it rehydrates the material at a molecular level. It does not fake the black. It restores the conditions that made the black possible in the first place. The plastic drinks it in, and because it is physically inside the polymer matrix rather than sitting on top of it, rain does not wash it off. Water cannot dislodge something that is embedded in the structure itself. This is the fundamental difference between this method and every single silicone trim restorer on the shelf at your local auto parts store. Silicone does not penetrate. Silicone cannot penetrate. By its very chemical nature, silicone is a surface coating. It sits on top of the plastic like a glossy, greasy blanket. It reflects light and creates the appearance of a deep black finish. It looks fantastic in the parking lot on a sunny afternoon, but the moment it rains, the silicone washes off. And as it washes off, it does not just disappear. It streaks. It runs down your door panels and your paint. It leaves greasy, uneven streaks across your bodywork. And when it dries, your plastic looks even worse than before because now you have uneven, blotchy gray patches where the silicone washed away unevenly, and the oxidized chalk layer is still there. It was never addressed. It was never removed. It was just temporarily covered. So, 3 weeks later, you are back at the auto parts store, spending another $18 to $20 on another bottle of the same product that just failed you. Before I give you the final critical step in this application, I need to tell you something important. What you are learning right now is just one entry in a library of suppressed, buried, corporate-killed home and automotive solutions that this channel has been compiling for years. The auto detailing industry is one of the most aggressively predatory consumer markets in America. But it is not the only one. There are contractors, paint companies, flooring manufacturers, pest control corporations, and appliance brands, all operating on the exact same model. Bury the cheap permanent fix. Sell the expensive temporary one. Repeat forever. If you want access to the complete collection of these solutions, the exact formulas, the step-by-step guides, the full documented history of why each one was suppressed and by whom, check the link in the description right now. The Complete Buried Blueprint Vault contains dozens of classified DIY guides covering everything from rust elimination to mold prevention to energy savings that the industry absolutely does not want you to have. Go check that link, bookmark it, save it, and then come right back, because we are not done yet. The last step of this application process is the one that most people skip, and it is the most important step of all. After you have massaged the mineral oil into every section of plastic and the surface is looking deep and rich and black, you need to do one final thing. Take a completely clean, dry, microfiber cloth and wipe off the excess oil. This is critical. You are not wiping it all away. You are removing the excess that did not penetrate. The plastic will have absorbed what it needs. Any mineral oil that remains on the surface rather than being absorbed is what can eventually look oily or attract dust. Wipe off the excess and you will be left with a finish that looks dry to the touch, not greasy. Not shiny with a wet look coating. Dry, matte, factory black. The same finish the plastic had when the car was brand new. That dry, matte appearance is the proof that the oil is inside the plastic, not sitting on top of it. That is what penetration looks like. That is what restoration actually means. Now step back and look at your car. That faded, gray, embarrassing plastic is gone. What you are looking at now is the original factory finish, restored from the inside out, for somewhere between 50 cents and $2 depending on how much product you used. That finish will not wash off in the rain. It will not streak down your paint. It will not require you to reapply it every 3 weeks. In most climates, under normal conditions, a single application lasts 3 to 6 months before a light touch-up is needed. And when you do need to touch it up, you simply wipe it down with alcohol and massage and a few more drops of oil. The total cost of maintaining that factory black finish on your entire car, every bumper, every mirror housing, every piece of exterior plastic trim, for an entire year, is under $5. Now let us talk about what the industry has been doing to your wallet. The professional auto detailing chemical market is valued at over $5 billion annually in the United States alone. A significant portion of that revenue comes from trim restorer products. Products like the ones you have seen on the shelf at every auto parts store. Products with names that sound scientific and proprietary. Products that promise deep restoration, long-lasting protection, UV resistance, and showroom finish. Products that cost between $15 and $30 per bottle. Products that, at their core, are just silicone suspended in a carrier fluid. The manufacturing cost of these products is almost nothing. The markup is extraordinary. But the real profit model is not even the margin on the bottle. It is the repeat purchase cycle. These companies know exactly how long their product lasts. They designed it to last exactly that long, not longer. The temporary nature of silicone-based trim restorers is not a limitation of the technology. It is a feature of the business model. A product that permanently solves the problem does not generate repeat revenue. A product that temporarily covers the problem and then fails generates a customer who comes back every month. Multiply that by millions of car owners across the country, and you begin to understand why a simple, permanent, $1 solution has been systematically kept off the shelves and out of the marketing conversation for decades. The rubbing alcohol and mineral oil method has been known to professional detailers, automotive chemists, and old-school mechanics for generations. It was used in the decades before the modern detailing chemical industry existed. It was standard practice when people understood their cars as mechanical and chemical systems rather than as products to be serviced by expensive specialists. Then the industry arrived. With its packaging and its marketing budgets and its shelf placement deals and its influencer partnerships and its sponsored YouTube reviews, and the simple truth got buried under millions of dollars of noise. You now know what they hid. The auto detailing industry is praying right now that you forget everything you just heard. They are praying that the next time you pull into the parking lot of an auto parts store and see that gray plastic on your car, you will reach for the familiar bottle on the shelf. The $30 bottle with the scientific-sounding name and the glossy label. They are praying the algorithm buries this video so deep that no one ever finds it. They are praying that the subscription model continues, that the cycle continues, month after month, customer after customer, dollar after dollar. But you know now. And now you cannot unknow it. $2, that is all it cost you. $2 for a bottle of rubbing alcohol and a bottle of baby oil, and your car looks like it just came off the showroom floor. Meanwhile, a professional detailer would have charged you between $80 and $200 to apply an overpriced silicone spray that would fail in 3 weeks and require you to come back. Detailing shops love selling you trim restoration packages. They love repeat customers. They love the fact that their solution never actually solves the problem. You just solve the problem, permanently, for $2. If this video just saved you money, do something powerful right now. Share it. Send it to every person you know who owns a car with faded plastic trim. Post it. Save it. Because videos like this do not get promoted by the algorithm, they get suppressed. The only way this information spreads is through people like you, who understand the value of what they just learned and choose to pass it on. Subscribe to this channel if you want more. There is a whole library of these secrets, a whole history of simple, cheap solutions that were buried by industries that profit from your ignorance. This is the buried blueprint, and we are just getting started. Now subscribe, and keep watching. Because if you think trim restorers are a scam, wait until you see what they are hiding about cleaning your engine bay. The chemical they do not want you to use. The one that has been quietly removed from store shelves in 3 states. The one that deep cleans a decade of grease and grime for under $1 and completely eliminates the need for expensive degreaser services. Subscribe right now so you do not miss it. The next blueprint opens soon, and what is inside is even heavier.